Hi, I'm Catherine Cameron, Active Living Ambassador with ParticipACTION. I'm up at Blue Mountain Resort near Collingwood in Ontario, and I'm sitting here with Gord Layhew, who is an avid skier, a lifelong skier, and is involved with the skiing program here at Blue Mountain Resort. Gord is also a volunteer with the Canadian Association for Disabled Skiing. Gord, can you tell me a little bit about this organization and your involvement?
It started approximately 40 years ago out in Sunshine Village in Banff when the ski school director was approached to help a disabled person to ski. In this case it was an amputee, and so that's where it all started, and then it spread. He and another lady came out to the east and trained us, and then we used to meet with the Crippled Children's Centre in Toronto on Wednesday nights for dry land, so that the children would get to know us, we get to know the children, and then it progressed onto the hill for 7 Sundays, and that's how it started. So it was predominantly track 3, but then it branched into various programs. So as we were chatting outside, there's only one requirement for skiing, and that's desire. And so the blind are involved, deaf are involved, amputees, paraplegics, quadriplegics, because we have apparatus that can be used for these folks, and if they've got the desire, they can learn how to ski.
So Gord, tell me, if Canadians have an interest in the adaptive ski opportunities and programming that's available to them across Canada, how can they get more information about these programs, and does your organization have a website?
There is a website for the Canadian Association for Disabled Skiing, and it's the acronym is CADS. There's also another program in Ontario called Ontario Track 3. They range from the junior skiers up to 19, and then they exit their program. But CADS is a national organization with programs right across the country, from Newfoundland to Vancouver Island. And anybody that's interested can contact their local association through the national organization, or looking CADS, for example, CADS Ontario or the National Capital Division. Any of those areas will provide ski instruction for people with a disability. And as I said earlier, there are various adaptive pieces of equipment that can be used. For example, we don't have sit skis here, but we do have outriggers, and we're certainly equipped to take blind skiers. And we've now been engaged with some autistic children, and they are all separate special needs. Now an organization for them would be the Special Olympics, which will be holding from what I understand, is a championship here very shortly in Collingwood. So again, anybody who wants to ski, we can teach them to ski. With the blind, they are guided from behind. The track 3 people, what that means is they've got 1 ski and 2 outriggers. The outriggers are a tiny little ski on the end of a crutch, if you will. And the same holds true for sit skis. They can sit in this apparatus where they're sitting and they're strapped in with their legs, etc., and across their chest, and then they have shorter outriggers so that they can work the apparatus. We will also tether people, getting them started, and it's a great lease on life. And if I may digress for 1 minute, it's been a wonderful opportunity for me because it has literally changed my life. I do not have a bad day, I just have some that are better than others, and that's only because it's an honor and a privilege to be able to ski with these folks.
You know, at ParticipACTION, we're the national voice of physical activity and sport participation in Canada, but we also know that volunteer work has a tendency to help people get out and get involved and get active. Certainly sounds like that's been your case.
Yes, definitely.
And sorry, Gord, one more time, how long have you been involved with the organization?
Approximately 38 years.
30 years and still going strong. 38 years, you said?
38.
38 years and still going strong. It must be very rewarding to for these skiers, for all, Canadians of all abilities to get out there and learn something new and be able to participate in a sport or activity they might otherwise have not thought possible. But also for you as well, the rewards must be.
And for some people, it's the most mobility they've had because of their disability. And I use that word disability because that's the word that they choose. We used to think of handicap, but the skiers themselves have chosen that word. So when they have disabilities, they can really move. Some guests that I've worked with and taught can hardly walk, but they can get up on the top of Brewster Mountain in Alberta and ski down, and such pride, and so that's it's quite a rewarding experience for both of us. But I'll be truthful, more for me than them, because it is such an honor to be able to ski with them.
Thanks very much for your time, Gord, and best of luck with your continued involvement with the organization. I'm sure you're making a real difference for many other Canadians, but it sounds like you're really benefiting yourself.
Very much so, and thank you for inviting me to speak with you.